What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. In today's episode, we are going to be doing another episode of the Deep Dive series and talk about Regigigas. So normally I would talk about a Pokemon just a couple of days before it ends up coming out, ends up getting a new moveset, but instead for Regigigas, I wanted to go ahead and give you an extended amount of time, mostly for the fact that we are going to have to talk about whether or not it will be worth it for you to pay for that Colossal event pass, which will cost $7.99 in US dollars. Regigigas is going to be a part of that event, so you are going to have to decide for yourself, do you want to buy that pass to have access to this Pokemon? And then it will be released into EX raids later on, so we're going to take a look at this Pokemon from a raid perspective, from a PvP perspective, and then maybe even speculate a little bit about its future value, because I do think that there are some things that we could talk about. Anyways, I hope you do enjoy this video. If you do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Regigigas, with a max AP of 4,346, that is insanely high in Pokemon Go, and it is a pure normal type Pokemon, so there's actually going to be some major potential out of Regigigas, especially when we take a look at the stats. So let's go ahead and talk about it. As far as the stats are concerned, its best stat is its attack stat at 287, ranked out at 13th in Pokemon Go, and then when you take a look at its worst stat, it's technically its stamina stat, but at the same time, that's ranked at 80th. That's not bad at all. So it has a very kind of like tight relationship with its stats and its rankings. Like I said before, its max CP is super high. It's actually the 4th highest in Pokemon Go, including all of Generation 5 Pokemon, even the unreleased ones. But it has an overall ranking of 5th in Pokemon Go when you take a look at the stats. But as we know on this channel, as well as just in Pokemon Go in general, the stats do not, unfortunately, dictate success automatically. What Pokemon Go / Niantic likes to do is nerf Pokemon in other ways. In this case, it is going to be the moveset that we will go ahead and talk about. So as far as the movesets are concerned, one thing to address is we literally have none of them that are going to get the stab bonus, the same type attack bonus in this case, no normal type moves. And then if you're curious, like, why the heck are these moves here? Well, first off, these actually represent the Regi trio. So we've got the Regirock, Regice, and then Registeel. Thought that was kind of clever. But then there's also something going on from the main series where this Pokemon in particular has something known as Slow Start, where it does end up affecting its ability in the first 5 turns. So who knows, maybe Niantic is just like, you know what? I want to avoid all of that. I do not want to make abilities. I just want to give it a terrible moveset. And then as far as the movesets are concerned, you're wondering like, well, how the heck do I use some of these moves? Like, what is going to be a potential combination between all of these random things? As far as the best synergy is concerned, it is going to be Rock Smash as well as Heavy Slam, because they both share super effective damage against 2 different types. One of them is going to be versus Rock type Pokemon, and then also versus Ice type Pokemon. And then I also ran some simulations where we compare Stone Edge to Heavy Slam just to go ahead and further my point that you do want to use Heavy Slam as well as Rock Smash if you do want to use Regigigas. So now that we have talked about the stats, let's go ahead and jump into some actual raid simulations. The first one is going to be versus a Regice. And as far as the time to wins are concerned, you're not seeing Regigigas in on this list, but I am going to showcase it on the side so you can kind of compare them. As far as the best time to win is concerned, we do have Meteor Mash Metagross with 931 seconds. And then the worst on this list, only in the number 12 spot, is Charizard with a time to win of almost 1,100 seconds. So how does Regigigas end up comparing? Well, I ran the simulations on the back end of it because I do have full access to the website, and here are the results. As far as the best time to win situation is concerned, for Regigigas, it was with Heavy Slam, but even then, that time to win is 1,167 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, that is behind the Charizard. And in that case, I mean, you're like, whoa, 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 those are some really bad results. And then Stone Edge is, of course, even further behind. But I didn't want to just stop there. I wanted to run a secondary simulation where we went up against a Rock-type Pokemon. And why not go ahead and go up against Regirock? So in this case, once again, we've got the time to win. And for Metagross, taking the number 1 spot at 917 seconds. And then we've got Groudon in at the number 12, where it takes 1,100 seconds to be able to do that. So how is Regigigas going to compare against these Pokemon? As far as the best case scenario is concerned, it did a little bit better. And then, of course, with Heavy Slam, we do end up seeing a time to win of 1,165 seconds. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, that is behind the number 12 spot. So in this case, we're sitting here clearly figuring out that Regigigas is not going to be good from the raid side, mostly due to it being nerfed from the movesets. So now we can go ahead and talk a little bit about PvP, because to be honest, it actually has a lot more going on for it in this way. And if we go ahead and take a look at the best rankings from the different leagues, it is going to actually be the Masters League. It jumps up significantly from the Ultra League as its overall rankings. We end up seeing Regigigas actually in at the number 32 position with all of Generation 5 Pokemon in the way. And then as far as the movesets are concerned, we have Rock Smash, Avalanche, and Stone Edge, which kind of contradicts what the heck we want to do with the PvE side, because we talked about how we want Rock Smash as well as Heavy Slam. But as you can see, Heavy Slam is not a part of this equation, so you are clearly going to have to make the decision as to which way you want to go with Regigigas. Do you want to end up going with it from the raid side? Do you want to go with it from the PvP side? Because that could actually dictate what you want to do with the moves. We're going to have to put a little bit more of an emphasis on PvP in the Deep Dive series, because Niantic just announced in as early as the early part of 2020, we are going to be seeing online battles, league play, all of these types of things. And the good news around that is we are no longer going to specifically have to focus on just Great League Pokemon. That works out great for a Pokemon like Regigigas, which actually does much better in a Masters League instead. But you're really going to have to decide what you want to do with this Pokemon, because is it going to be worth powering up? It depends on how you use it. From the raid side, I would say absolutely no. From the PvP side, sure, as long as you use it in the Masters League. And then finally, unlocking a secondary charge move. I think from the raid side, it's once again going to be a no, and then PvP, yes, if you want to do it. Unfortunately for this Pokemon, there's just not really good synergy between the movesets. You want to go with Heavy Slam on the raid side, and then you want to go with every other move on the PvP side. It just works out that way. Some Pokemon are blessed where it's just the best moveset from both sides. It just doesn't work out that way for Regigigas. And then finally, should you pay for the Colossal Special Research specifically for a Pokemon like Regigigas? I think no. I don't think you should worry about the fear of missing out to be able to have it just a month in advance before it gets released to the EX raids, because to be honest, this Pokemon is just simply not good overall. So do not let that kind of sway your decision. Focus on the actual Colossal Special Research and the different features that it provides elsewhere. Maybe we'll end up seeing some Stardust, some rare candies, some charge TMs. Look at those types of things to kind of dictate whether or not you think it's worth it, and kind of leave Regigigas out of the equation, because I do think you will be disappointed once you end up getting it. Anyways, I hope you did enjoy the episode. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and let me know what you think about Regigigas in the comments section below, and I will see you next time. If you want to develop a deeper connection, I would highly recommend you to check out Patreon. We've got a lot of really cool things going on over there. Check out all of these supporters that we have. We are almost up to 100. We are also posting some special content, some behind the scenes work. And if that is the type of thing that interests you, I would highly recommend you to check it out.